Let's now speak to one South Africa who is in Ukraine at this point. His name is Sputhnick Reddy, and he comes to us from Dnipro, which is in eastern Ukraine. Sputhnick, I just want to thank you so much for chatting to us. Tell us a little bit more about the area that you're in. I believe it's in the east of the country. How close are you to those disputed areas?
I'm currently in central Dnipro. It's more to the west than to the east. They are in the east as you speak. There are sirens going off, and my friends have informed me that so some of them are in bomb shelters currently, but where I am, it is relatively safe.
It sounds awful. It sounds awful. So you've got friends who are closer to the areas of conflict, and they are obviously very stressed. Tell us a little bit more about why you're in Ukraine. Are you a student?
Yes, I'm currently a student here at Dnipro Medical Institute.
What are you studying?
I'm studying medicine.
All right. Now tell me about what the last 24 hours have been like.
Very stressful, unfortunately. So I woke up at like 6:45 with my friend knocking on my door. She's woke me up and like, wake up, war started, and it was absolute abrupt chaos. And we had to start packing within like a matter of few hours and evacuate the place, but unfortunately I couldn't. There was actually a bus yesterday that did take people out, but they did charge extremely high fees, things like $150, but the banks here would only let you withdraw $100 per day at maximum, so we couldn't really take it, and it was too short notice either also. So like some people did make it successfully through into Poland, but some of us still stuck here. So we would really appreciate it if the South African embassy could get us a bus to Poland or Romania or any of the bordering countries that are safer.
How close are you to Poland? How long a drive would it be?
From Dnipro, it's estimated to be a 15-hour drive without any road obstructions.
And talk to me about the route out. Now, you're saying you're not in an area of conflict, fortunately for you, obviously very concerned about your friends who are closer to the conflict. Is that road likely clear all the way to Poland? Are people being stopped from leaving the country, or literally if you can get to the border, are you getting through?
So the bus that left from Dnipro yesterday has, yes, they've gotten to the border, but some of my friends who took buses from Kiev were asked to go back because the police stopped them, and then they just said go back. Like, I don't know why exactly, but they weren't permitted to go through. Buses that went through with the Indian embassy, some of them did successfully reach the Polish border.
And have you, we heard from the South African ambassador. I mean, I think they're sleeping in the basement, but he says amazingly their phone lines are still up. Have you actually tried to contact the embassy in Kiev at all?
Yes, we did contact them. We were in a WhatsApp chat with them, and they are trying their hardest, but it seems there aren't any buses available, is what they're saying currently. But yeah, I don't think they fully understand that there is imminent danger apart from just bombs and shootings. Like, there's a shortage of basic necessities, like all the food, like pasta, rice, and the shelves of like supermarkets are being taken off. We can't withdraw money. The ATM lines literally turn the corner of the street. And so there are things that will get to us before bombs if we don't act soon.
How much food have you got? How long is it going to last you?
I think I'm fine for a week.
A week. And of course, always that fear, because of course what Vladimir Putin did, he didn't just come to the east, those two disputed territories. He's gone straight for Kiev, and he's planning, it seems, to take the whole country. It must be a very frightening situation because, as you say, you're not under fire, but you're waiting. You're waiting in that sort of suspended state, not knowing what's going to happen. You're hoping that the government, South African government, can provide some sort of transport. But what are your plans to get out if they don't?
If they don't provide plans, I think the best option is to stay put if there's no means of transportation. We did try to hire cars, rental cars, and then drive them through, but unfortunately we couldn't find any. So yeah, so if the South African embassy doesn't get us transport, and we can't find ourselves transport, we're going to have to stay put.
Bearing in mind that South Africa is part of the economic alliance of BRICS, which of course is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Are you hopeful that as a South African citizen you might be protected? There might be a sense that as a civilian you're a little bit safer than the average Ukrainian?
I don't think so. I mean, we are living in the same space as my fellow Ukrainians and my friends, and I and them are in the same situation. We're just that the situation is the same for all of us.
So you're studying medicine there. I would imagine that pretty much things are closing down because everyone's just trying to hunker down. What are the kind of conversations that you're having with your friends, fellow South Africans and also your Ukrainian friends?
So with my friends who are here internationally, our biggest concerns are usually things like shortage of food, water, electricity, Wi-Fi, how to get out of here, and of course, like, we have to deal with our landlords because they're a whole nother case. Yeah, that's usually our biggest issue. And then when it comes to the Ukrainians, it's quite sad because they see us leaving, and then we don't actually have places to keep our stuff, and we keep it at their homes so they can safekeep it for us. Which is like truly sad. Like, it's just so horrible to do that. But yeah, they're also quite stressed. Some of them are trying to fly to EU countries, and yeah, that's that.
Tell me, where is your home in South Africa, and how long have you been studying in Ukraine? And what is your family in South Africa saying to you?
I live in Cape Town, and I've been here since February 2021.
All right. And are you able to have contact with your parents or family members? What are you telling them? What are they trying to do from their side?
Yes, I have been in regular contact with them. So from their side of view, they seem it as they think it's quite risky to take a bus and travel all the way to Poland, given it's a very long ride. They suspect that what if something happens in the middle, there's a road obstruction, they ask us to go back, or if absolute chaos breaks loose and like a missile falls by us. So that's their concern, and they think it's better to stay put. But I'm on the side of I would rather take the risk to leave now, because we do not know how the situation will turn out in a few weeks. It might get far worse if, you know.
Yeah. And as you say, you've got food for about a week. Do you have any money on you? Do you have enough to travel?
Yes, we do have enough to travel, but the buses are charging abnormally high prices. Like, a bus that left yesterday was 4,000 UAH. A bus that left today morning was 5,000. So they are really hustling us, unfortunately.
How much is that in rands, roughly?
5,000 UAH is about 2,500 rands.
Sure, and that's a lot of money to hand over.
It is.
How many South African students roughly and are there in Ukraine? Are there a lot of South Africans who are studying in Ukraine?
Yes, there are a lot of South Africans studying in Ukraine. I would say we're in the very least 100. I know in Dnipro, I made a form last night to get like a demographic of how many people are here and where are they located. About 10 people signed the form, but overall in Dnipro, I'd say there's at least 100.
The South African government last night and our president just this morning is calling for ongoing mediation, has asked Russian troops to leave Ukraine. Does that give you some comfort when you hear that message?
I mean, I would like to say it does, but unfortunately it doesn't. I don't see how our country has much pull in terms of a country like Russia, which is a superpower. So I don't think Putin would heed the words of the South African government, unfortunately. It's sad to say.
Sputhnick, I want to thank you so much for chatting to us, which just gives us an insight and just highlights the plight of South Africans stuck in Ukraine. And I really hope that you do get through to Poland safely in the next few days. Please stay in touch with us, and please do stay safe, and send our regards to the South Africans that you're in contact with. We are really all thinking of them here in South Africa and deeply concerned about all of you. So thank you for your time today. All right, so that is South African medical student Sputhnick Reddy. He's studying in Dnipro, which is in central Ukraine.